Getting better. Okay guys, thanks for clicking this, thanks for watching. Now, today's tip is about the driver. And there are 3 things that you need to try and work on to get the optimal distance out of your driver. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is the swing path of the driver going into the ball. Now, when we start talking about the swing path, the club path, this is the direction the club is swinging on, the path it's swinging on to the golf ball. Okay? It has nothing to do with the club going up. It only refers to the swing to the golf ball, to the point of impact to the golf ball. So if I use the white, I'm going to use some sticks on the ground to help explain this. So I'm going to use the white stick here to dictate the target line. Okay, so I'm going to put this down and we're going to call this the target line, the white stick along the ground. Now, if you can imagine the club head, this is my driver, when it's swinging to the ball, I want you to imagine a curve. It's not a straight line. We don't swing in straight lines playing golf. It's a circular motion around the body on an inclined plane. Now, if I was to put this on the ground to illustrate the path that the driver is swinging on, it would look ideally something like this. So if that's the ball on the tee there, the white line is my target line. This is the path to the ball. So it would look something like that. A nice inside club path, swing path to the golf ball. So basically, what we're looking for is an inward path to the golf ball, and the second thing we're looking for is an upward angle of attack. So what I like to do with my driver, you can try this with anything if you're struggling with consistent ball flight, is I like to aim my body also a little bit to the right. So that's going to help me to swing on this path here. I want my body angles not to be parallel to target with the driver. I want to stand and aim slightly more to the right. Now experiment with this, experiment with your alignment. But if you saw on the drive when I started, I've got my body aimed about 3 or 4 degrees to the right. And then that's going to encourage me. I'm exaggerating this for illustration purposes. This is going to help you to encourage this inward club path. Okay, so with the driver, aim slightly to the right. Your shoulders, your feet, slightly right half of the fairway. When I'm hitting a driver, I'm standing roughly 10 yards to the right of center. And I'm going to make sure that that club swings in to out, and I measure this with my quad. I'm working with this GC Quad launch monitor all the time when I'm training or when I'm coaching, just to check the numbers, the angles, and the amount of angle of attack and path. Okay, now, the second thing to reduce backspin is upward angle of attack. So remember, I've mentioned this on a couple of different videos, but you want to make sure with the driver that the center of the face, guys, is traveling up when you hit it. Up. So push that ball forward in your stance, experiment with that, but make sure that you're swinging up into the golf ball and not down. Okay, so that's 2 things. The path into out and the angle of attack up. Now the last thing to make sure you get the side spin, the correct ball flight, is that you also want to feel the club head closing on the downward path. So the club head is traveling in 3 dimensions, guys. It's traveling in to out, in to out. It's gonna feel strange for a lot of you, that. It's traveling also up. You want your weight shifting, but the ball should be far enough to the left so that the club arcs up as it hits the golf ball. Turn and sweep the ball up. Angle of attack, up. And the last thing, the club face, during that impact phase, closing. We want a right to left spinning golf ball. Not too much, don't overdo it. But if you're struggling with the ball flying left to right, then guys, you've got to get that club face closing on the downswing before impact earlier. It's as simple as that. You're going to feel that with your hands. I want you to, once you've taken your grip, I want you to feel that club face closing before impact. Close it earlier. You've got to make sure that this face is closing when you're hitting the golf ball. If you're slicing it, the face is open to the path. You've got to make sure with your grip, with your hands, with your wrists, that that club face is closing. That's a skill, that's what you've got to practice and get it at the right time in your swing. Okay guys, so that's the driver. 3 things: in to out, angle of attack up, face closing. Get those 3 vectors right and you're going to hit some superb drives. Okay guys, give it a try, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you like the video tips. Let me know you get on. Darren Scholes, signing off.